Well, Coach Fantasy Football Edition. I'm Craig, joined by my brother, Mark. Mark, what's happening, my man?
Not much. Excited to talk about this draft stuff that's going on and fantasy implications.
Yeah,
just looking forward to it.
perfect time. NFL draft is over, and, you know, we figured we're both dads. We both like to talk fantasy football. We play in a bunch of leagues together. What better than to get together and talk? So, the just a quick overview of what our show is looking to accomplish. We're going to talk fantasy. We're going to do stupid dad jokes. We're going to have a little fun with you all. And then the ultimate goal, I believe that we both feel this way, is we want to get questions. We want to interact with the fans. We want to help in any way that we can. So take what you want from us. If you have questions, we're on the socials everywhere. Look at the Sports Couch. Hit us up, ask questions, and yeah, I mean, I'm very much looking forward to answering questions. How about you?
I am looking forward to helping out with some draft day questions. I know, oh man, I pour over all the information and try to get it just right. I just hate losing throughout the season, so we got to get those books open and studied up for this season.
I always look at fantasy football a lot like poker. You can have the very best team on paper, you can have pocket aces, and you can still lose. But we're going to put the very best team that we can out there and let the cards fall how they might. So,
Yeah, last year won the championship with Adam Thielen and Amir Abdullah. They
see?
had to sub in for my starters. Oh man, it was just a season full of injuries. It just kept happening over and over. And luckily, I had some plug and plays, and Brian Thomas Jr. ended up being a stud and saved my season.
Yeah.
Took the chip
That's the
down.
that's the beauty of this, man. You make the playoffs, you have a chip in a chair, you can win the whole thing. And there's going to be a lot of injuries all season long. We're going to have to shift gears, make do with what we can, and come along for the ride, everyone. This is going to be a fun season. We love fantasy football. We like talking to each other. We're family here, so it's going to be a lot of fun, and you're all welcome to join us. We're going to talk round one rookies tonight. Obviously, only the fantasy impact rookies. So we're looking at quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, the core positions. And I'm really excited to talk about these. What a crop that we had taken in round one. Mark, what did you think? Who is your Let's start this. Who is your favorite? Who are you most excited about in round one as
Travis
far as
Hunter.
rookies goes? Travis Hunter.
Absolutely. In my opinion, he should have went number one overall. And not just fantasy. I think he's the Deion Sanders generational talent. It makes me believe that he's Deion's son and not Shadur. But it'll be exciting to see what they do with him in Jacksonville. I mean, they spent a lot, which makes me
Mm-hmm.
believe that they have more value in putting him at wide receiver and helping their star quarterback. There should be star quarterback Trevor Lawrence ascend to what they think he should be. So with him and Brian Thomas Jr. opposite sides, they should just dominate.
Yeah, it's
And
going to be a lot of fun with those two. Uh, my number one, I love running backs, man. I'm very excited about Genty, obviously, just landing spot, and looking forward to just the resurgence of running backs. The league is going to be filled with a bunch of youth at running back, and I can't wait to see that resurgence. Let's get started. We're going to go pick one in round number one. Cam Ward, quarterback out of Miami, 6'2", 219 pounds. He was the number one overall pick. The Tennessee Titans needed a quarterback, and they went out and got Cam Ward. A little stats for you. 4,313 yards, 39 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He ran for only 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. He has shown improvement every single season he's been in college. What do you think of Cam Ward, Mark? You like what he's bringing to the table?
I got nothing against Cam Ward, but I think Tennessee needs more than just a quarterback. They went out and got their stud, but I mean, who's he throwing the ball to is my question. Could they maybe have built their team up another year and then went after a quarterback next year? I feel like there's better prospects coming next year, but if they feel like this is their guy, that's their guy. I mean, I've seen him make nice throws and he looks the part, but that's turnaround fadeaway dime to the end zone. That I mean, he looks good, but I have a hard time seeing him being successful in year one with Tennessee.
So I think with this year's crop of quarterbacks, I mean, we can all agree it was a down year for quarterbacks. Cam Ward was the best of the bunch. He was the elite. He brings the tools. I mean, he's athletic. He's fast. I was shocked when I saw how few yards he ran for in college. I would like to see more than 200 yards rushing, but the 39 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, I don't mind. And when we saw him in a side-by-side with Shedeur Sanders, yes, Shedeur Sanders already being brought up 6 minutes into our show, Cam Ward just had different pop on the ball. Like, he throws an NFL ball. So maybe Tennessee fell in love. A lot of teams were clamoring for Cam Ward after the workouts and saw that he was like a legitimate guy. Do you think he is going to – you brought up Tennessee's wide receivers. They're going to be elderly right now. Calvin Ridley, does he have any juice left? Yeah, he showed a little bit last year. Tyler Lockett, I thought he's been dead in Seattle for years. Hasn't looked the part. I don't know, man. Do you think Cam Ward is going to push the needle at all for Tennessee?
I don't think so. And didn't they get rid of Westbrook Akina
Yep.
in the offseason? So,
Yep.
I mean, he was my favorite receiver on the team last year. He was like money for a touchdown week in, week out. They let him go. I just don't see Calvin Ridley getting the separation. Last year, he was disappointing to me, but I had high hopes for him.
I agree. I liked Calvin Ridley a lot.
So I'm not sure what they're gonna do. Lockett, we say he's dead, but I mean we say that every year. So he should have been dead 5 years ago, but he still keeps producing. So maybe he'll offer some kind of guidance to whoever they got left on that team. Is Treylon Burks gonna get in there, or what? What are we doing over there? So Cam Ward does look good, but I just don't think he's got the team around him to really like uh, be that successful in year one.
So if we're looking at a redraft league, is Cam Ward even getting drafted in a 1-quarterback redraft league?
Not by me.
No. Yeah. I don't think Cam Ward slots in at all in a redraft league. 2-quarterback leagues, maybe late in a draft. Dynasty. Here we go, guys. Dynasty leagues. Almost universally, quarterbacks go extremely high in dynasty leagues. Is Cam Ward going to be the number 1 pick in dynasty leagues?
I don't think so. Genty, number 1.
Yeah.
Maybe Superflex. Even then, he'd be behind. I don't know. What do you think? He'd be in the late 20s. I don't even think he's a second starter on the team, but that's just me. Maybe he's a stash for later in the season. Just kind of wait it out, see how it is. Maybe next year, the year after, he could produce good numbers, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, even in one of the leagues we play in is a 10 team. We have to have 2 quarterbacks on our roster at all times. He's not cracking the top 20 for me. And usually I'm really excited about the prospect of a rookie quarterback and what he can do, and an athletic one at that. And he does nothing for me. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't. Do you blame it on circumstance, or do you just think down draft year, there's just 19, 20 better quarterbacks than him already in the NFL.
It's a little of both
Yeah.
to situation, and there's better quarterbacks in better situations that are a little more proven than he is. But he is that kind of upside guy you might want to take as your second quarterback if you have to stash him on the bench and just kind of pray that he starts showing some magic. And for me, I'm just going to stay away from him. They did mention that he's good at running the ball, red zone, stuff like that, but his stats don't necessarily show that. So if they do use him in goal line packages, then that might boost his value a little bit. But I just don't see that being very consistent, especially in year one.
The one thing he should have going for him, it should be an improved offensive line. They have all the coaching in place to perform at a high level. Good running game there. Two very capable running backs. I'm not in on Cam Ward, and I watched a lot of tape on Cam Ward. The guy can make some pretty special plays. Yeah, I just think the NFL is loaded right now with quarterbacks. There's just a bunch of good ones, and Cam Ward's just not making the cut for me. We can jump to pick number 2. Get excited, Marcus. Get excited. Here we go. Travis Hunter, wide receiver, Colorado. Why we're going to call him wide receiver because I'm cool with him not playing any D-back. Stay away. Score me touchdowns in the fantasy world. I love that. That's what we want. 6 foot, 188. The Jacksonville Jaguars. They knew what they wanted, and they went up and paid the price. They traded from number 5 to number 2. So they gave up their number 5, a round 2, and a first-round pick next year to go get their guy, and I love it. I agree with you. Travis Hunter, the best athlete in this class by far, best receiver in this class by far, and guess what? The best defensive back in this class by far. The man can do it all, and he's going to be a lot of fun at the next level.
Definitely. And for a smaller guy, he's not one of those 6'5", 240 guys. He sure is good at contested catch rate. He's like you throw it up to him, it's not a 50-50 ball. It's more like a 60-40. I think on his college career, he had a 63% success rate in contested catches, which is just insane. And the guy can beat you off the ball. He can get you after the catch. He's just uh, a special talent. And you don't see many guys like this come through. And all the comps I'm hearing are Neighbors and Odell Beckham, and that just to be said along like Beckham in his prime was one of my favorite players. And if he flashes that talent, then wow, the Jags got a deal on him. I think he's him
So
and go
So
ahead.
some numbers: 96 catches this past season, 1,258 yards and 15 touchdowns. You're right; they can do everything with him. And guess what? He's just learning how to play wide receiver. He's only going to get better. You get him in meetings in the wide receiver room with wide receiver coaches. He's just beating people right now with sheer athleticism, sheer talent, and he's just better than people. Colorado used him in the screen game, and when he got the ball, he was electric. I think Travis Hunter, I think it cuts into Brian Thomas Jr. a little bit. Don't
I
you?
know.
I think it's going to
I'm
eat
worried.
into him.
I'm worried because I got he's one of my keepers in our other league, not the dynasty, but the 4-man keeper league, and it makes me a little worried about how much he's going to eat into it. And I was thinking about it. I think if they do start him on defense too, maybe it's 30% of the snaps and offense 75%. So he'll be on the offensive side of the ball more than defense, but 75% will cut into Brian Thomas Jr., but that should just open it up for them to score more points, move the ball faster, get more plays in. I think I mean, ETN's not going to run the ball 30 times a game. It's definitely going to be an exciting team to watch with both those guys out there.
Yeah, they're there to throw. They made that investment. They're going to throw the football. You brought up a good point with Brian Thomas Jr. You own Brian Thomas Jr. You love Travis Hunter. As an owner, are you willing to hold both of them on your team, or is that going to be a situation where, yeah, I own Brian Thomas Jr. already. I'm going to trade him away, or I'm going to make a different move to bring in my guy of Travis Hunter. Do you have more belief in Travis Hunter? Here, let's rephrase it like this. If you had to make a pick right now, who are you picking, Travis Hunter or Brian Thomas Jr.?
uh, I think the safer pick is Brian Thomas Jr. just because we know what he did, and I mean, year two he should just be better. But that's tough. I mean, it could be like a Chase Higgins kind of thing going on, and who's going to be Chase and who's going to be Higgins? That's the big question. But I do think both will be very successful. And if I had to choose between the both of them, uh, I think Brian Thomas Jr. is going to go in redraft leagues. BTJ's ahead of him, and there's just less risk. A lot of people are worried that. Uh, Hunter will be on the defensive side of the ball because that's what he said. He wanted to play both sides of the ball. But the coach came out and said, we're going to focus on offense for this guy. I mean, the incentives. You get paid more to be a wide receiver. And
Yes, you
and
do.
it's more exciting, I think, for players to do that juke and beat somebody and just humiliate people. I mean, I think AJ Brown came out and said that it's not really about winning anymore. It's about beating people each play. And I think a lot of the great wide receivers they thrive in that situation, and that's what really motivates them, play in, play out. So uh, I'm
What a
riding with
problem.
Brian Thomas
What,
Jr. though. I'm keeping
yeah.
him. So,
What a problem to have for Jacksonville. And I love the fact that Jacksonville identified what they wanted and went out and paid the price. They got themselves an absolute stud. And like I said, he's just learning the position. He's only going to get better. He's one of those players where sky is the limit. I know Genti is like the clear cut number one in Dynasty. Travis Hunter is knocking on that door for me right now. I think Travis Hunter could legitimately be the best at the end of the day, when all's said and done, he could be the most impactful and best player in this class, fantasy wise.
he's 92nd percentile against man, 97 percentile against zone, 97 percentile against press. And then you throw in that contested catch, the 60-40 or 63%, I think it is, on his career. I mean, the guy is just an animal. So we'll see if he can do that and play both sides of the ball, maybe a little bit. And we'll be seeing something we haven't ever seen in the game of football. So,
Do you think it changes at all at the NFL? I mean, let me rephrase that. It's going to change a little bit at the NFL level because in college he was just better, faster, more athletic than all these people that he was going up against, offensively and defensively. Now he's going up against guys that may match his athleticism at the NFL level. I know he wants to play both sides of the ball, but do you think that they're saving himself from himself by saying, we're going to play you on offense the majority of the time here? I don't know if he thinks he can just beat everyone athletically. You know what I mean? Maybe he's going to have to really hone in on a position and fine tune it.
but if I were the coaching staff, I'd have him start with the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And then if he continues to dominate on that side, then let him try out cornerback a little bit at a time. And if he does well both sides, I mean, what do you do? What do you tell the guy? No, they have zero cornerbacks now, so he would be their best one and be pushing for the best receiver on the team. So it's a good problem to have for Jacksonville.
Yeah, I agree. And he's extremely happy in Jacksonville. He is an avid fisherman, and he's very excited to not be in Cleveland. I don't think ice fishing is going to get it done for him. So that's Travis Hunter. I think he's exceptional. In in redrafts, how early are you taking him? Is he a,
It's tough. I would say
like round 5? Is he a top 50 player for you?
I was gonna say third round, middle of the third round.
Oh, you like him a lot. Okay.
Yeah, I do think he's one of those upside shots, and depends on the build of your team, but uh middle of the third, you take a shot on a rookie like that, and it could pay dividends. Or I mean, high risk, high reward. You play to win,
Yeah.
and geez, if he continues to do what he was doing in college at the NFL level, then I mean, that's a pretty good deal in the third round.
I mean, that's the beauty of all these fantasy drafts. We can say take a guy in the 5th round till we're blue in the face, but you're going to get the drafts, and someone's going to like Travis Hunter a lot, and they're going to take him 3rd round just to get him on their team. So, yeah, I love that you would say 3rd round. That's great. They're going to come out with consensus times of when you get this guy, and you're going to run into drafts where people take them before consensus rankings. So I love that. I think that's great. And we'll see how this mini camps and all the offseason stuff goes. Like when they start ramping him up and people start getting hyped up about him, his draft stock could just continue to like fly through the roof here. So
He's one of those players you just want on your team, so you can watch him every week, and so, kind of hold him up. And that guy's on my team, then
yep.
he might be that fun player to have.
If people forget Odell Beckham, when he was in his first second, he was unreal. Odell was nuts, and that's the comp they give Travis Hunter. So, yeah, high praise for Travis Hunter. Going to pick the 3rd offensive player taken, Ashton Jeanty, running back, Boise State, 5'9", 211 pounds. The Vegas Raiders took him at pick number 6. He had 374 carries, 2,600 yards, 29 touchdowns. He also caught 23 balls, 138 yards, and a touchdown. In 2023, he had 43 receptions, so he is very capable of catching the ball and being that receiving back out of the backfield. I love the resurgence of the running back position. Teams are investing in running back. They're seeing that bring in a workhorse, and he's going to pay dividends to our team. The Raiders made it happen, man. I love the landing spot for Jeanty. I think Jeanty is electric. I got to see him in person at the draft, Mark, and he's not tall. He's shorter than I am, but
5'8".
my goodness, that dude is a brick house. Like you wonder why he breaks tackles. He's low to the ground. He runs extremely hard, shifty, makes cuts. He has great vision. I am a huge Jeanty fan. I would love to have him on my team. And yeah, heck yeah, go Raiders. The Raiders don't have the best offensive line, but they don't have the worst. So let's go. What do you think of Jeanty?
I think he goes to the perfect spot. He couldn't have asked for a better place to go. Uh, I mean, they wanted him, so they're going to use him. And I think the balance between Brock Bowers, getting him last year, and he's just going to be open every time if they load up on him. He's just going to
Uh-huh.
sneak out, and it should be the perfect formula. Hopefully, Gino's at the helm, kind of opening things up too. When you when you got a guy in the backfield standing there like the Undertaker before he gets the ball, I mean, he just was running through people in college. It was fun to watch until they ran into Penn State. Like that's the only thing that concerns me. They go up against one of the premier defenses in college football, and they just shut them down. It's just
Still rushed for over 100 that game.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
I
he
mean,
wasn't completely shut down.
so they lost the game, and it was a little disappointing to see that because you want a guy to finish strong and break records, and
Yep.
I mean he was just so close. I look forward to his NFL career, and if he's catching those screen passes and rushing for 1,500 yards, he's gonna. I mean, he'll be well worth that first round pick that people are projecting him for.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect situation, like you said, with the Raiders. Pete Carroll, I think Pete Carroll looks at him like Marshawn Lynch, man. I think he's gonna be an absolute workhorse. The red carpet is rolled out for him. He can do everything. He can catch the ball. He can be your first and second down. He's gonna be their goal line back. He's gonna do it all for that Raider team. And like you said, they already have a dynamic playmaker in Brock Bowers. Geno Smith should be an improvement at quarterback. I love what the Raiders are doing, and I love the landing spot for Ashton Jeanty. How high are you taking him?
It depends. It all depends on what the format is, and but I do
Well,
think
let's just say PPR right away. PPR, what are you taking?
PPR, just non-keeper, anything like
Yep,
that.
just redraft PPR.
Uh, I don't think he goes ahead of Saquon or, geez, he's got to be top five, I would
Top,
think.
okay, first round pick.
Yeah, first,
Non PPR redraft. Is there a format that you're not taking him in the first round,
no,
or is he always one of the top 12 players?
he's always one of the top 12.
Yeah, and is he the number one player in Dynasty?
Uh, Top three, I think.
Ooh,
I,
spicy.
I would take a couple of receivers before him, but this guy's projection looks like they're just going to use him till the wheels fall off. So you want that good 2, 3 year run for they just feed him. And if Gino does well, the touchdowns will come for him. And I think Brock Bowers makes it easy for him to do pretty well. He's got that security blanket. Jacoby Myers was finishing the year pretty strong. He looked decent. So they hopefully upgraded that quarterback. And uh, who's the OC over there? Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly. Yeah.
So I mean he's got all the recipe for success. The draft
Yes.
capital. He's got the head coach who loves to run the ball. He has Chip Kelly who gets real creative with runs, and he also just loves to run the ball. And if they open it up for him with screen passes and just mix him in there like they should, like they drafted him to do, then he's going to be good for a long time. Even though he
Yeah.
is a little undersized, that's the only thing. He's 5'8.5". I mean, you don't put a half on your height unless you really are stretching for the extra inch.
He's
So he's
stretching for
five
it.
eight, 5'8.5". What is he? 210, 208, something like that. And
Listed
he
at
just
211. Yep.
yeah, he's like the muscle hamster.
He
So
sure is.
so yeah, I do think that some of that tackle breaking will carry over into the NFL because he just made it look so effortless, just shaking guys off left and right, and he looks like a special talent. You don't get 2,600 yards in a season by just being mediocre, even though he
Yeah.
did kind of have an easier schedule than most, as a
Eh,
lot of people are saying that, and I kind of see where they're coming from, but he's just a beast, and everybody knew he was getting the ball, and
that's
nobody could stop him. So that was play in, play out, and you just stand in the backfield. It was almost like come get me. He just taunting the defense.
yeah. He's special. His vision, his cuts, his burst. I loved everything about Genty, and then the landing spot. To see the Raiders use a top 10 pick on a running back. They knew what they wanted. They went up and I mean they didn't go up and got him. They went and took him in an NFL age where it's like frowned upon to take a running back that high. So I'm extremely excited for the prospect of what Genty can do. And again, the recipe is there. Mix it all up and let's see what it produces. You brought up the muscle hamster. Throwback name here, Doug Martin. Dude, you ever think Doug Martin? I don't know. I don't know what the comp is going to be for Ashton Genty, but I think he's going to be special. I don't care about 5'8". I care about strong. I care about shifty, and I care about, like I said, I wouldn't want to run into him. I've seen a lot of little 5'8s, and most of them are third down backs. This guy is not a third down back. He's built. He is a tank. So,
and they have two really good tight ends that they both spent high draft capital on each one 2 years in a row. One's outshadowed by a freak Brock
Bowers is
Bowers.
different. Yep.
Yeah, but they do have two capable tight ends that will work perfect with this offense, the scheme, the new running back, the new toy they got in the backfield. They should be able to do work this year.
Yeah, Genty's special. My money, I would take him number 1 in a dynasty draft. I don't care format. I don't care anything. I am a big running back advocate, though. I believe in the running backs, and I like to build my foundation on running backs. I would also take him in redraft. He's got to be a top 5 pick. Definitely in the top 8. It would be a really fun discussion between the proven guy, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Ashton Genty. I would have a really tough call between those two. If you had to choose between those two, we'll move on after this one. If you had to choose between Jahmyr Gibbs, who shares a backfield with Montgomery,
Genty.
You'd take Genty.
Yeah, because Montgomery, I mean, if Montgomery wasn't there, it would be Gibbs all day. But Monty is a touchdown a week guy. Yeah, he had some ridiculous stat where he scored the first touchdown of the most games out of anybody, and he just kept going. Like that's what they do. They'll pull Gibbs out and give Monty a touchdown every game. But Gibbs is better. I think Gibbs is on a plane all by himself.
Yeah. As a Gibbs owner, I'm pulling my hair out every week when they continue to pull him out and put Monty in to dive in for touchdowns. But another day. All right, let's move on. Tet McMillan, wide receiver, Arizona. This cat is 6'4", 220 pounds, and the Carolina Panthers took him at pick number 8. I was unfamiliar with Tet's game. I am a fan now. That dude is all of 6'4". He had 84 catches, 1,300 yards, and 8 touchdowns in this past season. Tet's a boss, man. 6'4", you can't teach that. And he is every bit of it. Long arms, 6'4", very athletic. Do you like the landing spot in Carolina? They've shown Bryce Young figuring out how to play quarterback. Adam Thielen was relevant. I think Tet is the perfect complement to what they have right now in Carolina, and he steps in as the clear-cut number 1 go-to target in Carolina.
Yeah, he's that big prototypical guy. I don't know how he'll be able to separate. I think that was an issue, but he's so big and can out-muscle people. It's that concern. Can he do that in the NFL? And I guess we'll see. I think Bryce Young is kind of coming into his own, or was at the end of last year. And if they keep making strides, I think they got a nice little receiver. And Jalen Coker, he looked okay.
They like big receivers there in Carolina.
Yeah, and
Xavier Legette.
Yep. I just can't help but compare McMillan to like Mike Williams. That's kind of what, if he'd stay healthy, I think, Mike Williams and McMillan are similar.
Okay. I also believe Mike Williams was drafted 8th overall in the first round as well. And Mike Williams was a dog coming out of college. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, man. So you sound like you're not in on Tet.
Not really. I just uh the separation thing and the NFL is a different level, and I feel like it takes a little while for these big guys to kind of acclimate themselves to the NFL. I haven't seen a big guy like come in, say like Drake London. I mean, did he come in and dominate? I don't know. I just have really high expectations and have been burned by these big guys because always think of like the Calvin Johnsons, like they could come in and just dominate, like they're bigger than everybody else, so just give me that, come down with the ball, but it doesn't always happen like that. And
That's a pretty high pedestal. Calvin Johnson,
yeah,
in
yeah,
my
yeah.
mind, is the goat of all goats at wide receiver. I'll take my money's worth with Calvin Johnson. I know we get a lot of Jerry Rice pushback, whatever, but I mean, you just compared him to like the greatest receiver of all time, and
No,
Calvin
I'm
Johnson.
not convinced. I'm just saying the
You're
size,
saying
and
he get
I've
there?
like he set the expectation too high. So
Yeah.
every time I see a big guy getting drafted in the top 10 or even 15, I think like, is he going to be that kind of guy, that dominator?
Yeah.
And then I don't know. You just don't see that too much. What was AJ Brown, a second rounder? He,
Uh,
I
sure. I
don't,
don't know.
I don't remember, but he was a little bit later. But he came on after a year or two in Tennessee, and it just takes him a little while longer, I think.
All right. So Dynasty. How high you taking this guy? Is he a first round pick?
Yeah, he kind of has to be this year, I think. Um, a lot of the people I have above him for receivers have been shoved into very crowded
Yeah.
receiving rooms, and he kind of has the field to himself. He has all the opportunity in the world to prove that he can be a dominator, number one receiver for a team. And I hope he does it, but I don't see it. I don't think he's as talented as Hunter or um I just don't really see it. I don't know why I'm down on him. It's just
No, I
yeah.
love the opinion, man, for sure. And honestly, when's the last time we saw a Carolina Panther just flat out dominate uh, on the field? So
In the fantasy playoffs, Adam
Adam
Thielen.
Thielen, yeah.
Yeah.
And if we're banking on Adam Thielen, we're in a lot of trouble here. Yeah, I put together some decent film, and again, you would think someone that big, someone that athletic would have more than 8 touchdowns in the past season in college football. Travis Hunter at 15. So take that and do what you want with it, I guess. Anything else on Tet? You good with Tet?
I'm good with that.
All right, let's move on. The Chicago Bears picked at number 10, and they took tight end Colston Loveland, tight end out of Michigan, 6'6", 248. I'm telling you, man, I fell in love a few times today watching film, and this was one of them. Super athletic. Michigan used him all over the field, very creative with them. Screens, backfield, fly routes. Like he did literally everything for that team, and he did it at a really high level. Super athletic. He's not your like Rob Gronkowski, line him up in the trenches, block, and then flutter out. This dude reminded me of a big slot receiver. He's gonna be just another weapon, and they comp him to Sam Laporta. Shocker there. Ben Johnson loves Sam Laporta. He had 56 catches, 582 yards, and 5 touchdowns. The numbers don't blow you away, but my goodness, his film absolutely blew me away. I love him. What do you think of Colston Loveland landing in Chicago?
It shocked me a little bit that Warren wasn't the first tight end
Same.
off the board. They're
Same.
like the same build, 6'6", 255, I think Warren is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it was a little surprising, but and that I mean they have a lot of pass catchers over there too already, but they should just they have so many places to go with the ball. It's going to be ridiculous. So I that was a need they felt like they had to spend that high of a pick on. Then hopefully they use them.
You don't spend a top 10 pick on a guy and not use him. I think this hurts Cole Kmet an awful lot. Cole Kmet was set up to have a really nice niche in that offense. Are they going to run a lot of 2 tight end sets? Maybe. Are they going to line Cole Kmet up at tight end? And then this kid at slot? Possibly. Use him. They might use him the same way he was used in college, out of the backfield. Michigan used a lot of screens with this guy. Like you said, Chicago. I live in Packer country. I live in the heart of Packer country. Chicago is loaded, and how they're building their team is just a thing of beauty. They went out, spent big on that offensive line this offseason, and then used the draft to just continue to stockpile weapons for Caleb Williams. We're going to find out real fast if Caleb Williams is the real deal, because he's got everything at his fingertips. A genius play caller, a genius head coach now. I saw a press conference with Ben Johnson. His eyes lit up when he was talking about Colston Loveland. He like Sam Laporta. He loves Sam Laporta. He loves Colston Loveland. I have to assume Chicago's got a really nice plan in place for this kid.
This will be the year we see Caleb Williams. He can't do it with this. I mean, what else can you do for a guy? So this is his year. The Bears do look stacked, though. The only thing they have a question mark at on offense is the running back position. And I mean, Swift, I don't know, but I don't even think they'll need to run the ball. They could just use all their pass catchers and they should be okay.
They need to fill. Keenan Allen got hyper targeted, so they're going to need to fill his receptions. There's a hole there, so people can step up and make catches in his absence. I look for Rome's going to take a step. DJ Moore is going to take a step. Colston Loveland's going to be fun, and then we'll talk what they did in round 2 on a different show. But yeah, my goodness, man, we're going to see 2 things. We're going to see a lot of running backs like saturate the NFL, a lot of young running backs, and we're going to see there's some really good tight ends in this draft class that we're going to see a resurgence at tight end. We're not going to be, there's 4 or 5 good tight ends. I think we're going to have like 12, 13 good tight ends in the fantasy world to choose from, and I'm really excited about these young cats, Colston Loveland being one of them. Do you think there's enough volume to go around to make this guy in your top 12 for tight end?
No, but I like the talent to be a top 12. He's got all the tools. He's got the size, the speed, the strength. If they use him in the red zone, maybe he could sneak into that top 12. But for me, it's tough to get on board with a rookie tight end that has so many mouths to feed on that team. Dynasty, maybe the back end, the first round, but it's tough. It's tough to get him in there.
Yeah. We can go right into the next tight end take, and that was Tyler Warren, Penn State tight end, like you said, 6'6", 256. The Colts took him at pick 14. I was shocked the Bears didn't take him, like you. I thought Tyler Warren was the number 1 tight end in this class. Again, hugely productive at Penn State. Dude was just a stud, super athletic. He led the program in touchdowns, receptions, receiving yards, receiving touchdowns among tight ends in all history of Penn State. Catches the ball well in traffic. He wins the 50-50 balls. He's explosive. Mismatch for linebackers, mismatch for cornerbacks. He's just a walking nightmare out there for defenses. He even lined up at quarterback. So they could use him in all sorts of a variety of ways. just showcasing how athletic this dude is. Yeah, man, what do you think of Tyler Warren? Landing
I
spot
think
is a big question mark.
landing spot is horrible. That it ruins it for me for him. But watching him play at Penn State, you knew the ball was going to him and they couldn't do anything to stop it.
Yeah,
And it was like over and over, big time moments. He was always there, always reliable. Uh he's so good, but it makes me want to stay away from him in fantasy for that landing spot. I mean, is it going to be Daniel Jones throwing the ball to him or Anthony Richardson? It
does it
just
matter? Does it get better
it's
with one or the
it's
other?
horrible. I think
Yes.
slightly Daniel Jones probably has a better
Ugh.
percentage. Yeah, it's terrible both ways, but I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll make it easy on the quarterbacks and they could complete those 5 yard passes to him over and over and over. But it just seems like he's in probably the worst place he could have landed.
I agree. Yeah, it's gonna. I feel like Indy is not very creative either on offense, and this guy you can use like you can open the entire playbook up for this kid, have him sneak under center, have him do tush push, have him like he was throwing the football too. Like he does everything for this team. And I feel like Indy is just very, very bland and not creative on offense. And then when they do something on offense, it's in the hands of now Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson may be the worst throwing quarterback in the entire league. He's god awful. I don't care that he's been working all offseason with Josh Allen's coach. Do miracles happen? Yes. Hopefully they do, but yeah, man, it's really unfortunate. I was devastated with the landing spot, and it kills his value. Do you invest in dynasty in this guy and hope that a quarterback change happens?
If you do, you're just going to be stashing them for at least a year. Uh, but maybe the upside's worth it. New quarterback next year. Maybe Indy does bad enough to get into that. Uh,
Arch Manning, baby.
yeah, that lottery. So we'll see. I would maybe take him not first round, maybe second round if I was not a contender and just hang on to him.
Yeah, it's wild because he was pre-draft. He was by far the number one tight end. Like hands down, he was my number one ranked tight end. Now we're gonna talk in round 2 about some tight ends when we on a later date. Tyler Warren might fall. He might fall even lower, like 3, 4 on the tight end totem pole, which was unheard of prior to his landing spot. And my one fear, I'll tell you this: the talent may Tyler Warren, and he might make whoever is under center look a little bit better at quarterback, and it might just be the Brock Bowers. He might just be like the missing piece of the offense. I mean, Brock Bowers was making Aidan O'Connell look like a legitimate quarterback at times. You know what I mean? So,
And they have that run game to help. So help hide scheme,
yeah,
just help move the ball along. So
that's the optimist in me right there, Mark. I'm telling you, I love the
well,
talent, and
he's such a good player. It's tough seeing him go to that landing spot.
I agree. Another landing spot that was a head scratcher, Emeka Abuka. What do you say? How do you say his last
Ibuka.
name? There you go.
Ibuka.
My tongue was all tied up there. Wide receiver, Ohio State, 6'1", 200 pounds. Tampa Bay just loading up that wide receiver room.
Yeah.
I mean, Ohio State is like wide receiver university. You know he's going to be good. He was highly ranked, and on my ranking heading into this, I thought he was money in the slot. Going to be, I mean, he's an older guy at wide receiver. I just thought he was going to slide right in and be productive right away. He's walking into a crowded room. What do you think about his landing spot in Tampa?
I don't know what they're thinking. They pay Godwin and McMillan's coming on strong, and they still got Mike Evans. It just didn't make a lot of sense. And as a McMillan owner in Dynasty, makes me a little nervous because he is so talented, and he's always been in crowded wide receiver rooms his whole college career.
Correct.
So I mean, he's carved out a little role, and I mean, super talented. I wish he would have went somewhere like Green Bay or somewhere else,
Yeah.
somewhere where he'll get some run. Uh,
Like
uh,
Houston. I thought Houston would have been a great landing spot for this guy, but
that too.
nope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Elite prospect, but man, is he going to see the field? Because McMillan he was
Millen
money
was great.
for
Yeah. I know.
touchdowns. But I mean, Godwin, what was he, top two receiver before he got injured? And,
And
oh,
moved him back to the slot this past year, and he was amazing.
yeah,
Like Godwin thrives in the slot, and this is where I don't know how to say his name. This is where he thrives. He's amazing in the slot. It's a head scratcher. I feel like they're kind of planning for the future. Mike Evans has to be. I mean, we say he's slowing down, but he's money on the field all the time. So the rich get richer, I guess. Tampa Bay, it just puts the brakes on this guy for a minute or two. Yeah, as far as drafting goes, redraft, he's almost untouchable. Maybe a long shot at the end of your draft. Dynasty, elite prospect, like you said, this might push him out of round one for me. Early round two pick, but yeah, cracking the top 12. Again, depends on your build, depends on your makeup. Tight ends may jump ahead of him if you're in desperate need of tight ends. But yeah, he went from being a lock in round one to I think he's a round two pick.
right. He's a wait and see kind of guy. Hope for an
Yeah,
injury or retirement. I mean, you don't want to hope for an injury, but that's the only way he's going to see the field. And even if that happens to one of their premier players, they still got two guys that are fully capable. So how much run is he going to get?
yeah.
So it's tough situation. And I don't know why they spent that draft pick on a wide receiver when that's not a need that they had to address. So
Not a need, but I could definitely see them falling in love with the prospect. He's fantastic. So I can't say his name, but my God, is he amazing. Dude can
mhm.
play wide receiver. And we've seen it. Ohio State translates very well into the NFL. Just stud after stud after stud. So he's just the next one. He's the next in line. And Omarion Hampton, running back, North Carolina, 6', 221, Chargers. Took him at pick 22. I love this kid. Size, speed, strength. He's got it all. He's rarely brought down on first contact. Great vision. Kind of runs a little upright, but I don't care. He's a tough runner. 73 catches in his North Carolina career. He's a very capable receiving back. Thoughts on his landing spot, Mark? You like it?
I like it. I like the setup. I like Slater and Joe Alt and
Yeah,
the the heavy run
not bad.
game. They just couldn't do it. They couldn't do it with what they had last year. I think they struggled with the
Can I chime in here?
sure.
They started off doing it,
Yeah.
but
They're the old
they had grandparents at running back that
they
slowed
did.
down and got hurt. Yeah, I think they
His
infused a little youth here. I think they're going to be all right.
He's got 4-4 speed, could be a three down back. He's big enough, got good size. They got a good O line. They love to run the ball. They have a great quarterback. I love his landing spot. And I like what he can do. I think it's going to be one of those things where you have your rookie in there. You're going to have to wait it out for the 8 games, and then I think he's really going to come into his own, and they're going to use him like they drafted him too. So
Yeah. So
now
right
he's
now
on a
they
1-year deal, isn't he? So I mean,
Yep. I was just gonna bring up
they
Najee.
they might run him into the ground the first half of the year, then bring in their stud rookie running back and let him thrive in their system. And
Let's
I
be
can't wait to
real,
see it.
man. Najee hasn't been very good. Like, I understand workhorse, but when you need like 30 carries to get to 100 yards, Najee is not explosive. He doesn't break big long runs. This kid has all the explosion you need. He can
Yeah.
do first down through third down. He can bring a lot more than Najee can to the table. It's just going to be a matter of if this kid has a great camp, we're going to hear a lot of hype and a lot of buzz. I love the landing spot. I love the prospect.
Well, he
Yeah,
can do goal line work too. He had 15 touchdowns last year, over 2,000 all-purpose yards. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. He's fast. He's going to be a weapon for them. I think they're going to love using him behind that big offensive line. And this is one of the guys I'm most excited to see this year. And
same.
to me, he's right up there with Genty. And I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but I think he's awesome. This kid is gonna go wild this year.
Honestly, if Najee wasn't there, and if we just looked at it like Genty has, you might have a real discussion at pick 1, 2, and 3. You know what I mean? Like Hampton
Mhm.
could definitely push for numbers in the NFL like Genty. I just think Najee's there right now. I think he's gonna slow down at least in year one what Hampton could be, but I think he's gonna be productive nonetheless. Year 2, 3, 4, 5, he might just explode and burst on the scene like crazy. So yeah, I love Hampton, love the landing spot, and can't wait till he overtakes Najee Harris. The Green Bay Packers at pick 23, they shock the world and go wide receiver. Uh,
Jeez.
everyone at the draft was jacked for them to take a weapon and add him to the wide receiver room. Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas, all 5'11 of them,
Seriously.
190 pounds.
They're
Uh,
excited about his 58 catches last year. His
yeah, I know.
sub 1,000 yards. I mean, I don't see what everybody's so excited for. This kid, like, that's great and all. You drafted a receiver in the first round, but does that mean you got good quality? Like I said, like Buka, man, if he went there, now that would be something I'd be excited about. But Matthew Golden, like that's great. He might get a couple deep shots. I think that's what he'll be primarily used for in that offense. But as far as like a dominator, I do not think they got the first round receiver that everybody's excited for. But
He's little. A lot of everyone that's little and fast. Everyone likes to compare him to Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's pretty special. Tyreek Hill is built like a bus from the waist down. Um, this kid's he's going to be different. Like they need someone to stretch the field. I think they thought Christian Watson was going to be that guy. Christian Watson is always injured. So welcome to a very crowded wide receiver room where no one really excels. And there's just a bunch of average dudes at wide receiver. And that's fine. That's going to be Green Bay's way to chop it up down the field, use your tight ends, use your running backs, use 5 different wide receivers in a game. And I just don't see him being like a legitimate ball hog guy that Jordan Love's going to target 10 times a game. Just he's not your prototypical number 1 wide receiver. I still think Green Bay walked away from this draft not having a number 1 wide receiver, which has been their problem for years now. They don't have a legitimate number 1 guy who's just going to kill you. They just don't have it. And I don't think Matthew Golden, all 5'10 of them, is going to do that.
I agree. They got another one just for the mix. Not really a standout stud.
Yes.
Which is unfortunate because Jordan Love could use somebody like that. It'd make the game a lot more fun to watch.
Even now, if the Packers need to pick up a first down, they need to go to someone. Are they looking at that wide receiver room and it's like, Matthew Golden, you're my guy. I'm going to go to you. You're my number one. You're that guy who can make that catch. He's going to have to prove something to me because I don't think he's that guy.
Yeah, I think they better have a better chance at just handing the ball off to Josh Jacobs for that first down.
Or
It
use
just
one. They have two excellent tight ends. They got weapons. They just don't have elite wide receivers right now. And I thought that they tried to shore that up in the draft. And there's people that went in later rounds that I liked more. People love Matthew Golden though. Like you hear other people talk about Matthew Golden, they love this kid. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't look at him as an elite level talent.
I don't either. I like Higgins more than him. But
sorry, Packer fans. Your guy is not our cup of tea. Redraft. Is he the number one wide receiver that you're taking for the Packers? If you're drafting a Packer, you're still taking Jayden Reed. Yeah. I mean, I swung and missed badly last year. I was on board Christian Watson, going to be healthy. Like Christian Watson's big, special, fast.
Yeah.
Just never healthy. So yeah, you almost have to like lean into Jayden Reed right now, and he's going to be your number one. Again, not your prototypical number one. Then Green Bay's still searching for that guy. All right, Jackson Dart is going to round out our round one discussion. Jackson Dart, quarterback, Ole Miss, 6'2", 223, the New York Football Giants. They come and get their guy. They took him at pick 25. He's athletic. He's got a big arm. He was making NFL throws at Ole Miss, which is a positive. When I watched him, it looked like he was not trying. Like he throws a really effortless deep ball, which is a testament to this kid. Like he's just got a cannon. He's gonna have the opportunity to sit, and it might be a year, it might be 2 years. I don't see the 2-year sitting. I think a year behind Russ, and then this kid is going to be given the keys to the castle. And as a Malik Neighbors owner, I don't hate it. I think it's all right. This guy, 69% completion, only 6 picks, 29 touchdowns, threw for over 4,000 yards. He's athletic. He can run the football, rush for 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. What do you think of Jackson Dart, Mark?
I don't think he should run too much because he's been known to get injured on run plays. Didn't he break his collarbone one year?
That's the Louisville
guy. That's the
Louisville guy, not this guy.
Oh yeah, all right. Yeah. Well, I don't know why the Giants picked him up. Why do you think they spent a first round pick on him when they brought in 2 guys? I thought they were trying to just hold the year over till next year when they might have a shot at better prospects. But instead they take this guy, and I thought Shedeur would be better than him. Just dink and dunk. I don't know. The whole he made a bad impression at the meeting, I guess. But they have ties to Ole Miss, and some say that's why they took him. And yeah, he does have pretty good stats, but for me, I'm not impressed. I don't see him coming in and doing anything. I like Fields better than him still.
I love Fields.
Yeah.
I think Jackson Dart's going to be solely a developmental player for at least for fantasy purposes. Redraft, he's not draftable. Dynasty, in a super flex, maybe you invest. I think the Giants showed they're pot committed right now.
I love what they did. Everywhere else besides this pick, they are going to be a gritty team. That D line is set up to wreak havoc on everyone. I like the Scatterboo pick. I think they're just going to be a gritty team, and maybe if they get, little bit of Russ or Fields in there. I just don't know where this guy fits in when they brought in those two veteran quarterbacks. It's just hard for me to see, like, maybe in 2 years. I see him drafting another quarterback in the future, in the near future. So
See, and I look at it different. Like, they brought in Jameis, and everyone was all jacked. Like, yes, Jameis is going to be fantastic and fun and whatever. Then they brought in Russ, and Russ is going to be their starter, at least for this year. I think this kid's just going to sit and learn and become a pro. And when you spend a first-round pick on a guy, I don't think they're going to be in the quarterback sweepstakes next year. I think it's just going to be Jackson Dart's team.
Okay. I just
Personally,
maybe
I would have went after Arch Manning, but I'm all
right.
in on Arch. I would want like 8 teams to get him, and they all can't. So they got an athletic quarterback in Jackson Dart. He throws a really good deep ball, which is, Malik Neighbors is known to catch a deep ball or two. That's not going to be bad. He limited turnovers, almost a 70% completion percentage in college. I don't know, man. I think Jackson Dart, he's got the tools. He's not going to be a first-round pick for anyone in a fantasy league, but I like the prospect if he can learn and get better and better and like learn sitting a year. I just think he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the quarterback for the Giants. They're just committed right now. We're going to have to live with that fact, I think.
See what happens next year with him.
He might come out and look just terrible in preseason games.
Maybe not.
It's going to be fun if he comes out and looks like Bo Nix in these preseason games, and then Russ is like, "Oh, come on, guys!" Quarterback controversy everywhere I go. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Jackson Dart, obviously not draftable in redraft. Are you touching him at all in Dynasty?
No, I'm not.
I think
not
in Superflex Dynasty, he's got some value, but yeah, just normal Dynasty leagues. There's plenty of good. We talked about it already, even with Cam Ward, who I think Cam Ward is going to be better than this kid. Like, there's just better quarterbacks in the league right now. So, yeah, that's round 1 of the NFL draft. Overall, we got infused with talent already, Mark. I like some landing spots, and I think some teams got better, and I think that makes our fantasy leagues better. Overall thoughts to close on?
I'm excited most about Omarion Hampton and Travis Hunter. A couple guys I was excited about before their landing spot, like especially Tyler Warren. I just wish the Rams maybe or somebody, a better spot to utilize them. But
Yep.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Genty, and it's going to be an exciting year.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Round 1 was a lot of fun. Show number 1 in the books, man. That was a good time. Again, audience, if you want to tell us we stink, you want to say something nice, you want to ask us a question, fire away. This is only going to get better and better. And again, we're going to keep doing this all fantasy season long. We're going to have rankings and all sorts of fun stuff in the fantasy world. So feel free, come along for the ride. We're fantasy bros, fantasy family, whatever you want to license it as. It's going to be a fun ride. And yeah, welcome aboard, everybody. Hit us up on the socials. Everything is at the Sports Coach. We're on Insta, Twitter, TikTok, all of it, Facebook. You ask a question, we're going to answer it. So yeah, Mark, nice job, man. It was a lot of fun.
I appreciate you having me on.
Dude, this is our gig now, so
it's gonna be great.
Yeah,
I'm excited about talking day 2. A lot of exciting prospects there.
Yeah.
Maybe more so than the first round. I'm disappointed with a couple of these guys that got stuck in certain situations, and I feel like it opens up more in the day two, day three, and it's going to be fun to talk about them.
Yeah, you got that right. That'll be the next show. We will venture into round 2. So, man, nice job. Thanks again. And everyone, till we see you next time, be great.